I believe science.
Okay.
I believe energy.
Okay.
I believe technology. There is no any spiritual power who dominate us. I don't believe that.
You don't think so?
I will
Okay.
never believe that.
Okay.
If somebody create me, he would give me always the good things. No one able, no any power able to create the world because the world is a magic. Since I read the Marx, I am Marxist and I believe Marx. For example, Marxism for me a religion. When in the morning I wake up, I say thank you.
To who?
But if one day Jesus convinces me to be Christian, I will be. If I say to you earlier, if the Jesus you want to my dream to convince me to say you have to be like that, I will be like that.
I just had after a while, finally was able to have a conversation. This time it was with an elderly French gentleman, described himself as Marxist. He also described himself as Christian, although I think he was very clear that he didn't believe in religion. So it was an interesting conversation, quite opinionated, as you can imagine. At the end of the day, I really just encouraged him to think of Jesus and his example of his life and the transformation that he can give to our hearts. He and I agreed that trying to be good with our own power, with our own efforts, is just not going to lead anywhere, and it's been tried and it's been failed. But I reminded him that that's not what Christianity is about. Christianity is about a transformation of our heart. We cannot be good unless God plants his own spirit in our hearts so that our desires and our will be aligned to his. Only then I think we have a chance to live out our ideals of morality, of looking after another, our neighbor, our society, our creation even. Those things without transformation of heart are going to be impossible to do. Anyway, it's a good conversation. Just left him with those couple of thoughts for him to think about, and I pray to God that he will ultimately reveal himself to this gentleman, and this gentleman that he will seek out after him in his old age. That's it. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. Let me know what you thought, and hope to see you in the next conversation. God bless. Do you have any belief, any faith, any religion?
As a religion, no.
No? Okay.
But I believe science.
Okay.
I believe energy.
Okay.
I believe technology. I believe the sun,
Okay.
the nature.
Okay.
But not the God which has been, how can I say, present to us by Christian or by Muslim, by others. Yeah.
So, can you tell me a little bit more about why is it that you don't believe in God?
But I mean, I have some intellectual knowledge. I study Bible, I study Quran, I study Confucius, Buddhism. As a result, this kind of religion has been made by human, just exploit human. Some human, they invented this, exploit other women. I am convinced about that.
Okay.
This is why I don't believe those kind of classic religions.
Okay.
For example, if there is any, for example, Marxism for me a religion.
So ideology, yeah?
For me, it's a religion.
Okay.
It's ideology, of course.
Yeah.
All the religions are basically their ideology.
Yeah.
They are created by a man. They are a man. They are human being that created a religion. Who is Muhammad? He doesn't come from sky. He's a man like you, like me.
Yeah. But you said you believe in science,
Yeah.
So when you say believe in, I mean, science doesn't require belief. Science is just facts. Science is a set of observations and measurements and procedures and methodologies by which we get to discover the nature of existence, right? So it doesn't require belief. It just is. I guess belief is something a little bit more fundamental. What are you basing your understanding of yourself on? Like, what are your, what do you think we're here to do? What is our purpose in life? Who are we, right? What are we here to do? And what is right? What is wrong? What is the basis for our morality? That's where we get to ideologies, right?
Yeah.
That's where we get to beliefs. Like, do you have such things? Like, how would, if I were to ask you, what is your basis for living, for right and wrong, for morality? Where does that come from?
Well, I mean, I believe the morality.
Mm-hmm.
The morality is a basic of our society, human society, which is morality, respect to presence of others, and respect women, respect to children, respect nature, of course, respect to animals. Animals is a big thing to respect animal. This is, to do that, you should have a moral.
Yeah.
That you should think that this world is not only for human, for animal too.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I travel a lot. There is many countries who believe they are religious, but they kill a dog like nothing in the street, or they kill an animal to eat. For example, for me, there is no moral in a society when the human kill the animal to eat. There is no moral, whatever the religion.
Okay.
So in there is a four monotheist religion. Yeah. Christian, Muslim, Jew.
Judaism. Yeah.
Yeah, Judaism. Those religions are, no one of them bound to kill the animal to eat.
So, but you would say otherwise, right? So I would ask, is like, on what basis do you think that it is wrong to eat animals? Like, what is your philosophy?
My philosophy is animal has a right to live because they love, they have a family. We haven't any right to kill any space in the nature.
Right.
Whatever the reason, we haven't any right to kill any species, even an ant, because they are part of nature.
Yeah, but I mean, you'll be realistic about this, right? So when we walk, when we do things die, things give their life for us, right? Bacteria, viruses, ants, things die. That's a nature of nature. Is that things the what do you call it, the cycle, right? Lower forms give.
I believe the cycle.
No, exactly, right. So I mean,
but to kill an animal to eat, there is no cycle.
Okay, so you just don't believe, but like animals eat other animals.
No. This is one of the example of moral.
Okay, but I'm saying, like, so I'm trying to understand, like, what is the basis? What is the philosophy, right?
So the philosophy for me is, so we are as human part of nature.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are in this world, not created by any super power.
Yeah.
So I have my mother, my father. They created me.
Okay.
Yeah. They were part of nature.
Okay.
And somebody created them.
Yeah.
This is a cycle.
Right.
This is a cycle.
So can I ask you a question about that though, right? So I would say, like, likewise, I'm born of a mother, and my mother and father, they conceived and created me.
Yeah.
They didn't really create me. I mean, we use that word, created, but they didn't really have anything to do with creation, right? They just did what biologically is natural, right? They conceived.
Yeah.
But they didn't know anything about my personality, about my wants and my desires, and they didn't know how I'm going to look like. They had no say in my design, so to speak.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Right. So they just did what was natural, but that was about it.
Yeah.
So they, it's not like create. So when we talk about creation, when we talk about religious creation, we're talking about intentional design in creation, right? So that life. So we believe, right? Religious theologians believe, right, that God actually created with intention. He created human beings. He created the nature. He created animals. He created everything, and everything has its purpose and its order, and He did so with foreknowledge, right?
Yeah. My philosophy, there is no God to create, so
Yeah.
there's no God. The nature and human being, all the species created by energy.
Tell me a little bit more. You said that before as well. Energy. What do you mean by energy?
Energy, that means there is a nature
Yeah.
in which there are a lot of chemical products
Okay.
like oxygen, carbon dioxide,
Yeah.
this and that. Those kind of atmosphere, they created the world.
Okay.
Because no any power able to create the world, because the world is a magic.
All right. But that sounds like to me like religion.
No, absolutely not.
Because you said
The
you attributed the act that usually comes with
energy, with energy, it's been.
but that's like personifying something that is not a person. Like energy is not a person, but you're saying energy was responsible for creation. So
Absolutely, yes.
how do we put that together,
Yes,
though?
yes. This is, as you see, the oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, azote. This kind of gas are created and natural. For example, if there is no oxygen, you can't survive.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if there is no, if there is no atmosphere, in the atmosphere there is no azote, we can't survive.
Yeah.
Which is, we see the result of to the decrease of those kind of chemical products.
Yeah.
How it's affect human being.
Yeah, but we know chemistry, right? We understand chemistry, we understand science. Chemistry is physics. At the underlying below chemistry is physics. It has no foreknowledge. It has no vision. It has no. It just does what it's supposed to do by the laws of physics, laws of nature, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't do anything more than that, less than that. But left to its own devices, left on its own, it's not going to create anything. It's just going to do what it's supposed to do, which is the natural law. It's not going to try to do anything more than that.
Yeah, but the creation of the world is that's a result of natural process.
And where did you hear that from? That statement?
That means about the science about discovery, that's explosion of some energy which has become the world.
That's what I was asking. So where did you hear about that idea?
Oh, you can hear it everywhere in the books, at the university. There is many science which is scientific, which is about explain those kind of process.
So my background is science, right? So I've not heard that specifically being said, right? There's a theory, right, of evolution, but evolution works on existing organisms, right? You have to have an organism to evolve itself, right? That's one thing. We also know about natural, chemical, geological procedures that work on basically nature, the matter. Stars produce heavier elements. Those heavier elements can come together into forming things like planets and other things, right? But what we don't have as science, what we don't have any answers about is how do we go from non-living things to living things. That is fathomable at the moment.
That is true. There is no precise consequences to explain it, but there are many approach about it, which is not the same approach of God.
What is the approach of God then? How is it different?
God, it's a big difference, because if you think as a human being that the God, the landowner of nature, the landowner of everything in the nature, there is a good and bad happening every day. So, my opinion, and I think if somebody create me, he would give me always the good things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he doesn't give me. For example, now we are saying there is no more, there will be no more oxygen in the planet
Mm-hmm.
because there's a natural recycling of planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and maybe in 200 years in this country there will be 50-degree of hot weather,
Mm-hmm.
which is will exterminate many things
Mm-hmm.
in the nature. So the God, I'm just thinking if the God is uh, aware about those kind of things, that the things are going bad
Mm-hmm.
for human, what he planned to do for human.
Okay.
Because he created us, so saying,
Yeah.
as you said, he
Yeah.
created us.
Yeah.
But if he created us, I think must be for the good reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
What
For-
is
for
the
good-
reason?
Well, this is a very good question, right? It's a very good question. What would be the reason for his creation, right? So
Yeah.
I think one of your maybe guesses or your proposals was that for our own good, right? That we should be, if there is a God, we should feel good, right? There should not be any suffering. We should not have any,
Absolutely.
right? But I would propose to you, right? That's a little bit different from what you said earlier about parents, right? So parents having children,
Yeah.
they wish good for them, but there's a time of discipline as
Yeah.
well, right? When you as a child and I as a child, right, we
Yeah.
did something wrong,
Yeah.
I got spanked. I got said, no, this is wrong. You
Yeah.
should not do this, because if you do this,
Yeah.
something bad will happen to you. If you eat too many sweets, your
Yeah.
teeth will rot.
Yes.
And sometimes I would listen, sometimes I would not listen, and then I had to go
Yes.
to the dentist, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's the example, right? So do we not think that God is going to control every single thing that we do? Or maybe there's a sense in which for us to learn,
Yeah.
we learn best when we try and then fail,
Yeah.
and God is letting us sometimes letting us to learn for ourselves, to know that we cannot help ourselves sometimes, like, or that we are sinful. That's the word, right, from the Bible. It's like sin. Well, we do bad things come out of that, whether that's nature, the climate change, right? We hurt one another. Consequences follow, because if he were to just stop everything bad that we do, would we ever learn? Would we ever get better? Would we ever transcend our current nature?
Yeah.
Right, that will be my response to that.
Yeah, you may be right about your opinion, but I never believe, and I don't believe this world has been made by supernatural, which is God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that, because as you see evolution of nature, for example, 50 million years ago, the nature was different
Mm-hmm.
compared to today. There
Yeah.
is evolution.
Sure.
Who did this evolution? For what?
Mm-hmm.
For what reason?
Yeah. Evolution of that nature doesn't mean that there wasn't God to create life to begin with. But let me give you one example where I believe there's a strong case for God, right? When Darwin created his
Oh, yeah. One of the
when
example,
Darwin
yeah.
created his theory, right, of evolution, the origin of species, that was before Darwin really understood DNA and the nature of the cell and the complexities within the cell, right?
Yeah.
Today, we obviously know a lot more than we did then. We
Absolutely.
understand that DNA is at the root of genes, are at the root of a lot of processes that drive our development as human beings. And it's almost like code. Microsoft, Bill Gates,
Yeah.
he said that DNA is more complicated than most advanced computers that we will ever come together. And that DNA is actually like a code, like an operating system, right? And the question has to come to us, like, where does the code, which is information with a specific purpose to be read by the cell organisms and understood, DNA and RNA, they read and copy one another, and then they translate that into hormones production, this process, that process. All of that is almost like code, like an operating system that reads instructions and does something with it. Now, every time we think about instructions and code, in our experience, it's always some intelligence is behind it, which is human beings. We give instructions to one another. You drive along the road, you see a sign, you know something should happen or something should not happen, right? behind every instruction, every information is a mind, right? So DNA, by that analogy, is a very strong evidence that there was some designer, some mind behind it, because otherwise you would have to ask yourself, well, how did the code, the information come to be? Where did that come from, right?
Yeah. But I mean, the DNA, as to talking DNA or other scientific discovery, are those discoveries rare, or how can I say this? There is a proper sense of those kind of discovery. DNA, what is a DNA? DNA they say this man is come from this man.
Not quite. DNA is chemicals, right? They're
Yeah,
chemicals.
but how they determine it? How? So they look your blood.
Yeah.
They compare with my blood. If our blood correspond each other, they say, okay, this is your DNA, which is correspond with this gentleman. This is this is a kind of scientific discovery, but this is not really determined human being.
Of course not. Of course, we're more than just our chemicals, right? We're much more, right? And so this is my other, actually, but I think that's more of an argument for my side, right? Because when we think about ourselves, because otherwise you would have, if you are truly a materialist, like some atheists are truly materialists, they say that we are ultimately not free. We're not free because what we do, what we say, every action that we do is determined by the chemicals that are in our brain.
Yes.
So whatever chemical fires, whatever electrons, however they move, we are basically slaves to that. We do not have free will. Because if we did have free will, you would have to ask, where does that free will come from? If it's not in matter, if it's not in atoms, if it's not in chemicals, where does our free will, where does our desire, where does our will come from? Now, I, as a Christian who believe that we are not just matter, but we are spiritual beings and physical beings, we're both spirit, soul, and body, I have an answer to that question, right? Because I would say I was created not just with the properties of my DNA and atoms that comprise me, from passed on from my mother and father. No, I have a soul that was given to me by God, and that also gives me
I
freedom to discern and to decide. Now, I do have an answer for that's the model within which I work with, but the atheist does not have an answer that, apart from saying that we're not free, that we're just slaves of atoms.
For me, the soul is part of biological body. When the biological body is gone and the soul is gone, the soul doesn't exist for me.
Okay.
No.
Which is fine as a belief, but I'm saying from a scientific perspective,
no, but
right?
I mean, I don't pretend to believe any religion. I don't explain any religion to you, which I see as a human being in the nature, what is happening, who is the master, why the scientists discovered this, why for that. I'm just following the daily life in generality. But which I am convinced that this world, we are all the species, we are part of a chemical process, which has been in the past, as today. There is no any spiritual power who dominate us. I don't believe that.
You don't think so?
I will never believe that.
Okay. Did you know that some of the greatest scientists of our history, they were believers, right? They were Christians.
I know, like one of the examples. Anyway, all the great scientists they come from the church. They studied religion.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But that is a good idea. When you study the religion, you will find the opposite always, because there is a positive and negative. You can't be always positive. You can't be always negative.
You mean there's a balance?
Yeah, you have to. You find as a human being, your brain is motivate you to find which is against you, which ideology or which man. Like who is this Georgian man, the Russian man who killed the revolution.
Stalin, yeah.
He was he was a proper Christian as well.
Not so sure, right? He was an atheist. He was the one who's declared that actually.
But he got to religion education.
Okay,
yeah,
maybe
he's from Georgia. He's from Georgia.
Sure, he's from Georgia, but I'm saying he wouldn't call himself at any point in his life as a religious person, as a person of faith.
At the beginning, but after he became communist.
But that, yeah, okay, but that doesn't mean that he did it. Whatever he did not do out of his faith convictions. So what he did, like the atrocities that he did, was driven not by his religious upbringing, but by his subsequent.
Not. Yeah. No, absolutely
but you could say Hitler he went to a religious school in Austria, right?
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
No.
Right?
I mean,
it's just the fact that people go to school.
Yeah, those people, they know what is a religion at the beginning. They believe about,
and they reject it, right? They reject it. Just like you, perhaps, maybe you had an upbringing. You had you heard from somewhere. Maybe your parents explained it to you, or you maybe went to a school that was Church of England school or some other school, right? And then you rejected it, right?
No,
you
my
rejected
parents,
it.
they never explained to me. They were Catholic.
I'm just saying that could be an example. A lot of people just reject when they grow up. They reject whatever they were taught, right?
Yeah. My parents was, classic Catholic.
There you go.
Yeah, not really. They went to church every day, but. They believe something.
Well, same thing. Maybe that was the same with Stalin. I don't know how he was like, but maybe it was the same thing. Maybe he was just brought up with that similar situation.
So my parents, they didn't teach me to believe the nature or believe the technology.
Sure.
So they have their belief.
Mm-hmm.
They believe according to their intellectual level.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I was something completely different than.
Yeah.
There, I found other things.
Sure.
But I am not going to. I respect every ideology, every religion. I respect.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, which I came to not believe any spiritual power, any religion, because of what is happening in the world. In the name of religion, what they do, those people, I haven't really any good things to become on me or teaching me by the religion. All the bad things.
Okay, that's interesting. I would say.
Yeah.
Bad things happen in the world because of ideology. People are convinced of something they believe is true. Whether it's communism and non-religious, whether it's Hitler's National Socialism, or whether it is religion. It's people when they're convinced of something. Bad people will act on those convictions, or good people will act on those convictions. The question is more, what is the conviction, and is the conviction true or false? I would propose to you, if religion disappeared today, outright, all the religious beliefs, we would have no less wars in this world. No fewer wars would happen. It would be same amount of wars, same amount of conflict, same amount of suffering.
Maybe more.
Maybe even more. There you go. So
I believe there will be more.
Okay, so
because that is the nature of human being.
Exactly. Well, we agree on that. We agree. The human being nature is the one of, I think, personally, selfishness, right? And I see that in myself, right? I'm not as a Christian. I'm not special or holier. I see in myself. I know that I want to do.
Because you also, as a Christian, you eat hamburger like everybody.
Absolutely, yeah. No, exactly. I have to humble. I make mistakes. I make. I sin. Right. That's what's true.
But me, I don't believe in a religion. It is clear.
Yeah.
But if one day.
And what would have to, like, maybe you were going to go there, like, what would change, right? What would have to change for you to be convinced of some belief, yeah?
So, I have to see the good things happening with the name of any religion. There will be no war, there will be no crime, there will be no, somebody kills somebody, we have to respect animal.
Mhm.
No, any religion in this world, I think, except Buddhism, they respect the animal. They don't kill the animal like a Jew, Muslim, or Christian to eat.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, some religion show me those kind of things because I am human being. I am part of nature. What is my role in the nature? So I have to find my good way,
Mhm.
and I have to find my bad way.
Okay.
So when I found my good way, I will be living in a good way. But if I found my bad way, if I drink alcohol all the day, if I smoke the shit, I am in a bad way,
Mhm.
and I will have a bad life.
Mhm. Mhm. So you made a couple of examples there. Like if you saw, I'm trying to understand what that would be, right? Specifically for you, like if you saw what is it like results of from religion, results of where people just don't kill animals to eat anymore, and that would be convincing, or
Oh yeah, yeah, of
just
course.
that one thing,
Not
or
not that one.
whoa, sir,
That is one of
was one
side
example.
of good
Okay,
things.
okay,
For example, to respect of every human being in the nature. This
okay.
is fundamental.
Mhm. Mhm.
We don't respect black people. We don't like Arab. We don't like another one.
Okay.
We don't like other religion.
Yeah.
All dislike.
Yeah.
Dislike, dislike, dislike. We don't like the summer. Sometimes we hate winter. Dislike.
Yeah.
There is no really that the positive and the good thing are reign in the society.
Okay.
All the bad things.
Okay. It's so basically like you want no what conflict, no
No, no,
conflict,
no,
no
the
suffering, or
conflict, how it's rude,
mm-hmm.
how it's rude. So we live together in some place one day,
Mm-hmm.
and the second day you try to kill me for your ego,
Mm-hmm.
to be rich, to go sky. I don't know, to create a fusee, to kill the people. You know how many money, how many energy these rich people they spend to create a fusee to kill another one.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
is the sense of this? Those people are believe religion as well.
Yeah.
Those people are, they are the first say I am religious.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I've been in Turkey 1 month ago, so I know Turkey about 20 years. So this guy is in the power, he's in the power, the name of religion, but he's not religious at all.
Mm-hmm.
So there is crime, sexual harm, this and that. The people they see you in the street that you are a foreigner, they think the bad for you, they try to cheat you.
Mm-hmm.
The Turkey wasn't like that before. 20 years ago, when I go to Turkey, when they see me on the beach, they say, hello, hello.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the name of religion, this guy,
Sure. Erdogan.
this guy poisons all of the society.
Okay,
But
but
he's not religion.
sure. But
He's
we.
not religious. If you
Yeah.
see the way he's wearing, compared to Arab in Medina,
Yeah, he's not like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay, so I'm trying to get a better sense. So thanks for sharing that with me. Like, so I would say, like, let me know what you think about this, right? But the kind of belief that I have about religion is a belief that leads into personal transformation. So for me, rather than seeing or expecting change out there in the world, I say, why not start with me, right? Why not start with me? Because why would I think someone else is the problem, right? If I look at Erdogan, or if I look at someone else, whoever it is, pick a name. Why do I think I'm better than them? Why do I think that I can point fingers at that person and say, well, they're wrong, but I'm right? Would we not agree? We're just as we said earlier, right? We're just as cause of the problem as they are. It's just that they have more power. Maybe they have more charisma. Maybe they have
No, they are
circumstances.
stupid. They have
stupid. They wouldn't be
ego.
stupid. They certainly are not stupid to
No,
be
no,
there.
they are not stupid in a
Yes.
way for their ego.
Yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying is that
That's for me. That's no a charisma. Yeah, there is a charisma, but very
Yeah.
bad charisma. Me
bad or
as a
good is
human-
it's exactly it's where they
Me
what
as
got them
human-
there.
As
Yeah.
human,
Yeah.
I am 72-year-old. Yeah,
Sure, sure.
I never cheat anybody. I
Okay.
didn't try to kill anybody.
Okay,
I didn't try to rape anybody.
sure.
I didn't try to do the distinction between color people. That one is that. That I live my life.
Yeah.
When in the morning I wake up, I say thank you.
To who?
No, I can say to God. No problem.
Okay.
That's,
You are thankful. You are thankful in nature.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
I
You're
can say thank
great-
you, God. So
grateful.
that's-
You're
yeah,
grateful. Okay. Humble.
I wake up.
Yeah.
So why others they don't think like me?
Yeah. But can I offer you a couple of, I mean, everything you said is good. I'm glad to hear that you did none of those. I didn't do any of those things, but I still think of myself as pretty bad, right? Because apart from, like, I would ask you, did you ever lie? Did you ever tell a lie?
Yeah, I do lie.
Yeah, no, same thing with me,
No,
right?
I do lie, but that's different to lie. For example, I have a boy who is a 12-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He wants me to buy for him a bike who is 400 pounds.
Right.
Yeah. I said to him, I have no money to buy it. I said, sorry, I have no money to buy it.
Right, right.
To convince him, because
Sure.
what he thinks is a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a very bad idea, because as 12 years, he always look his ego.
Sure.
Why 400 pounds? Why you don't want to take a bike for 150 pounds?
Yeah.
This is egoism given to him by the TV, by the school, by his friend or his mom or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it is generally with society, because they are very young. We are educated all for good things.
Yeah.
Good consumer.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree
Yeah.
with you. Yeah. So what I'm
So
saying
I-
is like,
I'd
yeah.
like
So
to-
we're not perfect, right? We do
No, no, no.
lie. I also would say about myself, not just that, but there's worse things that I've stolen. I have looked at other people with lust, right? I'm married, and yet I am drawn to put my eyes where I shouldn't be putting my eyes, right? And that is not a good thing. I don't know if you would agree with that, right? You know, pornography and other things, right, are not great, right?
What is a pornography?
Well, it's lust. It's lust, right? That's what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Human
It's not healthy.
ego. Is
Yeah.
human
Well, human
ego.
ego. Well, that's very well
That's a human
to
ego.
put it. Yes.
Presented in other way.
Exactly. So we have ego. I have ego, right? My point was where I got to this, right, is that I wanted to have a personal transformation of myself before I look at another person and say that's the
Absolutely.
problem, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
But to me, this is what I wasn't always religious, right? I'm just telling you a little bit about myself. I wasn't always a person of religion, a person of faith. But when I realized that problem is within me, and that there's a way to solve that problem by looking at someone who has solved it, right? Who is promising to change my heart and my desires and the way I look at the world. I said, I want that. That person, right? That person for me was Jesus Christ, right? He was the one who promised to give me a new life, new spirit, new mind, new desires, right? That's what he came to do. Because when he was on this earth 2,000 years ago, he died for us. He died for you and me. He died out of love, right?
Yeah.
So we all want love. We all want love, and we all live for love, right? That's at the bottom of human experience, right?
Yeah.
But he actually demonstrated it. He died for someone who was actually stoning him, who was actually crucifying him. He died for them, for his enemy. And I have to admit, I was his enemy by the way I lived before. I did not respect him. I didn't want to do anything with him. I just shut my eyes towards
Yeah.
him. But yet he died even for me.
Yeah.
And by dying, he purchased me for himself. He paid for my sins, and then promised to give me a new life and a new spirit that lives within me now, right? That is the transformation that I felt.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily perfect now in this world. I don't think I will be perfect until the next world, but I have changed. And that's the experience of other Christians who are truly Christians, right? There's so many examples of people who have been transformed by their belief, who have turned their back on their former lives, on their life of sin and of egoism and focusing on themselves, and they became humble, they became self-sacrificing, they became loving. I would say that is the power of faith.
Yeah.
That is the power of faith.
But if one day Jesus convinced me to be Christian, I will be. If he proposed me the good things,
Yes.
if I believe, if I convinced, I follow. Why not?
Yeah, but that's what I'm. That's
Yeah.
why not start, right? Why not begin, right?
No. In the meantime,
Learning about him, right? Learning about it, because we cannot trust someone. Like, for example,
I have some knowledge about Christianism.
you have some knowledge, okay?
Yeah, so don't.
Because I was gonna say,
if I wasn't that, I couldn't talk to you.
because I was gonna say that for
Yeah.
me, I wouldn't be able to trust something or someone that I didn't know too much about, right? And so for me, it started by reading about him, understanding what he's like.
That is true. If you want to drive a car, you should have
Some
driver
knowledge
license.
about it, driver license,
Yeah, that's true.
some lessons as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you said you read the Bible before. What did you think of it? What are your experiences of it?
But I mean, I read the Bible. I read the Quran too. Those are the books has been written by some clever people in that time.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I was really interested, that was a Quran, because Quran came after the Christianism, after Bible. If you did you read the Quran?
Parts of it, not the
No.
whole thing.
Did you read the Quran? He describe all the life of rich people, Muhammad, in that area. This Muhammad has, I don't know, 8 or 10 wives. He was the richest man in that area. He had a thousand of sheep, and he was married with a woman who was really ignorant because of money. To be honest, there is nothing for human being. For example, slave. There is a passage about the slave. They say, if you are slave, you have an owner. You can't go anywhere without the decision of your owner. It's ridiculous. I don't believe this kind of.
Okay.
No, I don't believe, to be honest. Compared to Bible is little bit more moderate. I mean, there's some moderate things. They talk about society more or less, the good and bad. But I am not really convinced to. For example, I like Confucius.
Mm-hmm.
Confucius is a good religion. I read the Confucius as well. I read the Buddhism. Look, in the Confucius, one of the things I really like it, the Confucius say, if someone is asking you a fish, to borrow him a fish, don't give him a fish to teach him how to catch the fish.
Mm-hmm.
But those kind of I mean, for me, this really, he was a scientist, so, and a good philosopher as well.
Yeah.
But you can't see this one in the Bible or whatever, the
Yeah.
Quran. For example, the Quran is one of the horrible things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would agree with that. Yeah.
No. I say so. I have a right to
Yes.
say that.
Yeah.
When I read the Quran, if somebody say to me, "This is Quran," you have to believe it. I can't believe it. You know, to believe something, you have to find your interests. The first and the second interest of other society. You can't live on your own if you are not agree with the society. So you cannot be good or bad man without your neighbor. You need him always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that reminds me of the parable Jesus said about the Good Samaritan, right? When the young man asked him, who is my neighbor? And he gave him the parable of the Good Samaritan, right?
Absolutely.
Who is the one who helps even the enemy, even the
Yeah.
one he doesn't like on the roadside. I think Jesus certainly modeled, and with his own life, not just with his words, with his own life, modeled what we should be like. I don't think that's true of Muhammad. I think, as you said, Muhammad was a caravan robber. He had multiple wives. He was rich. He conquered with force. And so I don't think anyone in their right mind should
But the
use
Christian,
Muhammad
they
as a
believe
model.
Muhammad as well. The Christian.
No, we don't. No.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. There is many Christians. They believe Quran. They respect
No.
Muhammad.
I'm not sure that that's true.
You know, in the Muslim religion, there is only a man. What his name? Anyway, the Muhammad and his team, they killed all of that family. What his name? Ali. So Ali, in the world of Islam, there is now tribe who call Alevite. Alevite, those people they live in Turkey, in Syria,
Right,
in
okay.
Iran, some part of Pakistan, Afghanistan. They don't believe Muhammad. They believe Ali. Ali was Muhammad. I think they are the same family. So Ali was against his rule. He's never accept his rule. And finally they killed of 72 people of his family all together.
Okay.
For example, Ali never go to mosque. He said the mosque is horrible because in the mosque in that time they just did the propaganda.
Yeah.
How to cheat the people.
Yeah.
So now finally, so thank you for your conversation. So thank you to having me. But I believe your honesty. Yeah, I don't say anything about the Christianism. Yeah.
No, that's
No,
fair.
no, no.
I'm
So, but if I say to you earlier, if the Jesus want to my dream to convince me to say you have to be like that, I will be like that.
great. Well, I'll pray. Maybe I'll pray for one thing. That
Not pray for me, pray for nature.
well, I will. Well, first of all, I will pray for you because I
Yes.
think I'm more interested in souls
Yeah.
than nature. But I will pray
Yeah,
that you will have an encounter with the living God, who will show you what He's like and what does it mean to know Him. I think that is transformative. That is a life transformative. And I think in your age, I mean, forgive me for mentioning this, but I want you to have eternal life. Eternal life, right? I think there's something to be said about
Maybe
this
I
life.
will have not time to have it. I don't know.
Well, I wish you. My prayer is that you would end up in a good place with
you.
God, right? Not in the place that is away from God. I don't want that for anyone.
But to be
right?
honest, I don't need anything from this society. Only thing I need, just I care my head to rest. I don't care. I don't cheat anybody. I don't do that. I don't follow the money or this and that. I am that kind of person. I believe this kind of life when I was even 12-year-old. Even in that time, 12-year-old, you know, one thing stay in my mind. When I was 12-year-old, I was in a boarding school. Every weekend I came home. We go to church, of course. So I'm from France, yeah. When we go to church, in that time, was like today, there are clochard. Clochard in France, that's the poor people who they live in the street, that drink wine, who is...
Bums, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know, but we call them clochard.
Clochard. Yeah, I know that word. Yeah.
Because in France, clochard is a kind of human phenomenon.
Okay.
Sometimes scientists, there is a lawyer who has a problem, he's become drinker.
Yeah.
We say clochard. So many of those people, when they have no money to buy the wine, they come front of church Sunday.
To have wine.
Money.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
actually now the society is more human than religion.
Yeah.
Because society now gives to them money for drink.
That's sad. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that time when I go to church, because those people was, the clothing is dirty, you know that is kosher. The people watching and passing by, people watching and passing by. No one, some of them say, and in the front of church, in the front of side, all the, intellectual, rich, politician there, and all in the first line. And when those people after mass, when they come out, those crucial people are already there. Maybe it's in 100 people, just one of them give just 5 cents or 10 cents. So in that time also, I was really pity about these people. And I was thinking, even my parents, they didn't give any money to those people. My father was an engineer, he had money. One day I asked him, my father, I say, Dad, why nobody give money to those people? He said, they are useless people. In that time, I was a kid. I had a pity for those people. Yeah. And my parents, my father, treat those people as useless. From that time, that time is every day in my mind. And this kind of thing I am an engineer, I work in the society, this and that. I've seen many kind of those things.
Yeah. My heart goes out to you because I feel pain like that as well. Not so much that I look down on people like your dad, because I know I'm similar like that. I feel like sometimes pity, but I'm powerless because I'm afraid. Maybe I'm scared. But in those moments, I pray. My prayer is that I would have the eyes and the heart of Christ, because Christ, I know he wasn't afraid to reach out to the leper, the person of disease, the poor person, the person who was beggars, right? He did not have those social barriers that sometimes today we have. He didn't. And so my prayer is, God, make me like Jesus, make me like him, so that I would have the same heart for the poor, for the disadvantaged, so that I would look with compassion on those people. And I'm sorry that I'm not like that, but my prayer is to be like that.
Okay. So, as a result, since I read the Marx, I am Marxist and I believe Marx.
Okay.
Because the Marxism will become a religion. Now it's a religion, not really ideology. Every party in the world, you have a Marxist. Because compare the Christianism and compare the Islam, the Marxism really, in the current situation, is really, I wouldn't say good religion, but they talk the good things for human being.
Yeah, but you know the problem with Marxism, I'll tell you, because I come from a communist country myself, right? I'm from Croatia, and I grew up
I'm not communist.
No, but I'm saying Marxism and communism is very similar and related, right? But I'm saying it fails. Those ideologies fail in practice because they fail to deal with the heart of the problem. Because we are idiots, right? Forgive me for saying, right? But we are not able to follow those things. We are not able to share.
That is true.
We're not able to help one another. We're not able to provide equality in society because we're selfish. We have egos, right?
Absolutely.
And we cannot do that. Now I'm saying religion, what I believe in, Christianity, is transformative. It helps me to transform my heart, right? So I'm not expecting someone to change. I'm not imposing on them the religion.
I understand you, but because it's failed, because there was an opportunist who was a Marxist at the beginning. When they got money, they all became capitalists. Like
this is it, yes.
Like Russian leader, he was a communist as well.
That's right. Many of them became oligarchs, right? They bought the entire country for nothing. Yes, I agree.
But
I agree. Yeah.
I was really see the good things at the beginning of communism. I mean, that wasn't communist. That kind of just they pretend to be communist, but they never been communist.
True.
Because to be communist, you need really a good personality. You have to swap your ego. See, in human society,
Yeah.
whatever society, when there is a power,
Yeah.
there is somebody online and somebody follow, there will be no communism, whatever.
No, but that's how we are. That's how we are.
Yes,
That's how we
human egoism, egoism.
Yeah. Human
So-
heart is the problem.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But I believe Marxists, for example, Marxists say religion is the power of rich people. It's true.
Well, it often is. It often is. Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah.
I
What,
give-
what I'm here. Sorry.
I give you an example. The guy in Turkey.
Yes. Erdogan.
Yeah, he said that every day he said religion, Islam. Every Friday he go to mosque. He show the people and people believe him. He's not religious. He doesn't. The rich people like him, they don't believe any religion. They don't
Correct,
believe it.
Yeah.
If they believe the religion, they would have some pity
Mm-hmm.
to see the people. And I have a girlfriend there, so sometimes I have communication with them. They built a law, they created a law 1 or 2 months ago, kill off the dog in the street.
Okay. I don't.
Yeah. Because in Turkey,
yeah.
you see the dog are there in the
Yeah.
street.
The stray dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. So they built a law 2 months ago. They poisoned all the dog in the street. Yes. How you can? So you are religious. You say you are the best religion in the world, Islam. They say. Unfortunately, they say we are the best religion in the world. One of them just a poor Turkish guy on the beach. He talked to me. Yeah, I say to him, I am a French, I am Christian. He was a Muslim. I say, what you want to do in this world? Say, but because everything goes wrong, because there is no Islam in the world, there is no this, that. The Christian is... I said to him, you are 52 country in the world, Muslim country. Can you show me one rich country, Muslim country in the world? You are consuming technology come from the Christian country, your phone is Christian, your television is Christian, your fridge is Christian, your mathematics is Christian, and you pretend to be good one.
Yeah.
And he say, you are devil. I say, excuse me, sir, go over, please.
Yes. Wow. It's a.
Can you see this?
I have similar conversations with Muslims as well.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
No,
yeah.
honestly, they pretend how is stupid, how is they can't see the good things. They all the things they critique Christianism. Their enemy, their most enemy is for them is Christian and Jew. I've been working in Libya, but long time ago. So we were in the military zone. We constructed the barrack, things like that. So when we go to construction site, there was a control. I had a beard because we work in the desert, so I left. He said, "Sir, you have to cut your beard." I said, "Why?" "Why?" He said, "Because your beard is black. We don't like the black beard."
Why was that?
I said, "Why, sir? Sorry, sir. I'm a French. Yeah, I am not Libyan. Why you talk me like that? Who gave you the right?" You know what he said to me? Because Jesus also has a black beard.
Oh, wow.
I stunned. I never heard that in my life. Believe
That
me.
is strange.
And
That is
in
very
my mind, look how this guy is stupid. I say, "Sir, you think that you are the best?" "Yeah, we are the best." I say, "Look, all of this construction, we are all Christian, we built for you. So we give you the car, that's a Christian. We give you that. I say no, but this is world of material. When you die, you all the Christian, you go to
Hell.
hell. I said thank you.
Oh wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That
I
is,
say you are in this world, you are in hell already.
There you go. You created a hell for yourself already. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you say that, they don't like you because they know that's something wrong and something rare.
Yeah.
Because I give to them example.
Yeah.
As the guy in Turkey, I say, your phone is Christian, your television is Christian, your shoes and Nike is Christian, everything is Christian, and you pretend to be the best.
Yes, that is
For what?
incredible. Yeah.
Why you want to be the best? Just show me something best.
So I took too much of your time. I really appreciate it and
no problem.
enjoyed your views and your
No, because
opinions.
I am
yeah.
not against you or
Yeah.
any religion. Just
Yeah.
we are changing the.
Yeah.
We are changing the idea. Maybe you will convince me one day, or the Jay-Z maybe.
Well, that's like I said, that's my prayer. You know what I pray before I go out? Every time I go out, I pray God to lead me to someone who maybe needs to hear something, a reminder or an encouragement. So I would say to you, sir, God still thinks of you.
No, but you pray for Jay-Z to give me the
Exactly.
good sense
Well,
to follow your religion. No problem.
Well, I will, and I will pray for your blessing, and I pray for him to reveal himself to you, that you have a relationship with him. That's because he loves you. I think so. Very
because,
sincerely.
I am a good. I wouldn't say I'm a good man, but I am a man who open eyes
Sure.
to know how to live for myself and how to live for others.
Sure.
You can't be anything on yourself, but you have to complete your life with others. If there is no others, you are not existing.
Well, yeah, that's well said. Well put.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem.